it is not a Bible study. It's day in and day out, walking through life together and loving each other more than you love yourself. Being available even when it's not convenient.
You know, we have different jobs. A few guys work at Pat, a few guys work at other places around Dayton, and just how different career paths have interacted, and we get to know each other and share what the Lord's doing at work or just in daily life.
And it's about fellowship, but it's also about brotherhood and being able to hold each other accountable. Being able also to be the workers, be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ in this city and elsewhere.
Just knowing that you have other people that are living, the same type of life that you are, and, knowing that even in ups and downs, there's people there for you. You can always talk to them. They're there to just kind of lift you up and everything.
I attended my first house church meeting, and it was just awesome. It was just so awesome. Just the atmosphere of discipleship was absolutely apparent from the moment that I set foot in the door, and I legitimately felt like I was best friends with everybody that was there. That's how welcoming they were on my first time being there, and just how open and just absolutely transparent.
I consider Brooklyn my church. That every week I'm there to grow and just have fellowship with fellow men.
A friend of mine, Andy Garrett, invited me to Greg Meredith's house church, which is where I met Josh. In that house church setting, we had quads on a weekly basis. Our quad quickly turned to the Brooklyn quad, which then ultimately a few years later, through the work of God, became a Brooklyn house church.
Called it the Brooklyn Quad. And the reason for that being that Ryan had this slogan that he said at the end of every prayer, which was "Big ups to Brooklyn." We all thought it was funny and stuff, but eventually it just stuck. We just called ourselves Brooklyn Quad. Just kind of stuck. We wanted it to be naturally grown. We wanted God to do the growing and not us to dictate what that looked like. The next thing we knew, we had friends, believers, seekers, co-workers, random people off the street, high school kids from scout troops that we were involved in. It was crazy. People getting baptized, we had people coming to know the Lord.
I guess the thing that's had the biggest effect on me is just when we get out and actually do some service projects. I guess, thinking in the past, it's been kind of more like, well, I can't really do that. It seemed like it was a much bigger thing than what it is. And as simple as just walking around downtown, maybe passing out double cheeseburgers to people, talking to them. That's probably been the biggest thing that's like, it doesn't have to be something that's planned. You can just kind of be walking around downtown and somebody needs, something to eat, you can buy them lunch.
We just go downtown and share with these people and talk to them, and I'd never done that up until, this experience with house church, and God has just used that to grow me, to grow compassion in me for the lost people, for the people that are in need. It's just so easy to sit in my bubble and to see that I have very few needs, and not have to worry about anybody else. But that's not what we're called to do. And through house church, I've been able to experience just really serving others in the community, and that has been just awesome.
For me, it's been really encouraging to see other guys come into Brooklyn and accept Christ and have lives changed because of what Christ has done and through the gospel. And even when my walk hasn't been perfect, it's just been really awesome to see other guys come in and totally just grow and have their lives changed, and it's kind of spurred me along as well.
My first year after coming to this group, I had the privilege of traveling internationally on a mission trip to Zambia, and just really through the connections that I made in this house church, took a small step of faith, and God did the rest.
Giant step.
And that experience led me to the privilege of being able to lead the trip the next year. So,
at a Brooklyn session, I guess I gave myself to the Lord that night. That was the first time we threw chairs.
The tradition is that when somebody comes to know the Lord, which we've been fortunate to see happen a couple different times, we go out on the porch. When I lived with Josh Radcliffe, we had 2 or 3 chairs on the porch, and we throw chairs. So that's kind of like the equivalent to the Heisman pose.
Boiler up.
They broke.
Yeah, we threw chairs till they broke. So it was sweet.
I would just say that to encourage you all out there who are in the trenches doing discipleship and really getting in deep in other people's mess, that it just takes time. It takes time to develop refrigerator rights to other people's lives. It takes courage to be open and vulnerable. It takes guts to stand up strong and to rebuke one another with truth. And it takes effort to ensure that we just don't become another gathering of consumers. So, big ups to Brooklyn.